Okay, so this is a bit of a brew. The submitter of this deck affectionately called this, I believe it was, "Don't blame me, you did this to yourself." So we have Leyline of Combustion here, which says whenever you, or at least one permanent you control, becomes the target of a spell or an ability that deals 2 damage to that spell or ability's controller. And we have Cindervines here that deals damage to your opponent when they do things. And then Torbran notably increases the damage from both Leyline and Cindervines by 2 points of damage per trigger. Signo, thanks for the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. We're staying safe here. Staying inside. We've got a small black splash as well for Dreadhorde Butcher. We've got Agonizing Remorse in the sideboard. Let's just dive into it. Any advice for getting over ladder anxiety? You should realize that the amount of prizes that you get for playing on the ladder are largely insignificant. And you should just play Magic to play Magic. And if you end up moving up while playing, you move up. And if you end up going down, it's also not a big deal because the prizes don't really matter to begin with. Theron Hawks, thanks for the 1/4 of a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. All right, let's do it. Yeah, Punchworthy, the Pioneer deck wasn't great. Yep, the upside is we're almost through all of the not great Pioneer decks, so that's nice. Fibble D Thip, you say? So, Butcher gets bounced by Teferi and Borrower. However, it's also good at killing Teferi, right? Because it has haste. I definitely did not update Stream Decker, thank you.
Sorry I'm late.
Oh, I need to install Slay the Spire and poke at that and set up a scene for it. I think I'm going to do that on Saturday's stream, Punchworthy, I think is my plan. Yeah, probably Saturday. Planning to do a longer Historic Day tomorrow. Okay. What is Slay the Spire? Slay the Spire, I am confused. Talented Seal. Yeah, maybe they missed a land drop and conceded. Now that was only their 3rd turn, right? Maybe they had a real life thing come up. Robber out on the draw. Yeah, that's probably reasonable. You can bring in these Agonizing Remorses. Slay the Spire is I believe it's a single player game, right? Single player roguelite card game. Like deck building game. It's a single player roguelite deck building game. Look at that. Look at that. I was correct. Larynx asked me for a $1 amount to make me play Slay the Spire on stream. I gave him a $1 amount. He sent the $1 amount in bits. So we're going to do it later this week. I do sponsored content with some frequency. I don't really care who sponsors it. No different than a sub sponsoring it versus a company, as long as the cash is all green. Ah, we were so close. We were so close. Kingdom, thanks for the 3rd of a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, Eternal Witness. So moving forward until my kids go back to school, which there's a good chance that's not actually my kids aren't going back to school until fall. Even if Illinois reopens the schools after 2 weeks, Christy and I have decided we're keeping our kids home until at least the fall. So between now and fall at a minimum, I'm gonna be streaming on the weekends and taking 2 days off during the week. Our deck is so busted, chat. Opponent must I don't actually know what's going on there. Won't your kids be held back a grade if we keep them home from school? Yes, but they won't be dead. Or I don't actually know the official answer to that. It's just kindergarten. We'll see. If they reopen the schools and we decide to keep my kindergartner home and they want to hold, I assume we can just say we were homeschooling him and then putting him back in school in the fall because that's what's going to happen. But I don't actually know the details of that fully. I haven't looked into it. I just know for the safety of my children and my soon-to-be newborn in my house, we will not be sending my kids back to school until the fall. A number of states have already announced that they're closing their schools for the year. So I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Illinois gets added to the list of schools that close for the remainder of the year. The governor here has been very proactive in terms of precautions that he's taken to flatten the curve. All kids in your province of K-9 have automatically passed. Yep. I mean, at a minimum until the following school year, which would be in the fall, Southern Wizard Gaming. However, things can change very quickly in the world in which we're living, so Chris and I are just taking it one day at a time. We have, however, made the decision that at a minimum, we're keeping them home until the fall. I just got hit in the head with a soda bottle, but it's okay, because it was a soft drink. I hope you have kids, Edge Freak. I hope you have kids. Our governor is a Democrat. Although, just to again show that I'm not someone who's biased, and I just believe in good versus evil, the good and bad responses to things surrounding the COVID crisis have not been split along partisan lines. So, for example, the Ohio governor, I'm fairly certain, is a Republican, right? And he's had a very good response to a lot of things that are going on as well. Yeah, he's a Republican, right? And he's also been pretty proactive in instituting good policies. So it's not strictly partisanship. The Republican versus Democrat line blurs a lot more at the local level, though, Be Rich, compared to global. Is something to note too, though. Yeah, people are praising Kumo for a lot of stuff that he's done now, and I definitely agree, like, in the very recent, he's made some good decisions, but his overall response time, in my opinion, was not stellar. The rate at which he agreed to finally close schools and start to shut things down was much too slow, in my opinion, based on what we saw other places do. Like, I believe Illinois shut things down before New York did, even. We got you. Just time me out. Hope you're staying safe out there. Kumo is trying to use Trump's unpopularity to pass off the blame on how he's handled things. Cleave plus Butcher is good. You're not wrong. things are going to be really bad in general surrounding this whole thing regarding the United States' mess of a prison system. The United States incarceration system is barbaric on a good day, and it's likely going to get real bad in a lot of places with all of this going on right now. Yes, Butcher does get bigger for many planeswalkers too, right? Alright, so if I play this, I can still cleave, right? So we'll do that. I think plumbing supply stores should be considered essential. I don't think I'm qualified to make that distinction. Illicet, thanks for the 6 months. Welcome back. I would lean towards yes. In my opinion, when you're evaluating governors' responses to what's happened with all of this, in my opinion, anybody who's been slower to respond and close things than the Illinois governor was to respond and close things, it was too slow. I think you really got to see which of these elected people are leaders and which ones of them are followers that are waiting for people to tell them what to do. Thanks for the great historic list on your website. Been trying to figure out something fun in Magic since Pioneer got stale for me, and having a source of interesting decks on a client that doesn't look like a macro workbook is great. Thanks, Blake. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Sick little puppy. Thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome to Hoaglandia. Hope you're staying safe out there. Kenrith is going to gain all sorts of life here. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have like 9 mana. They can gain like 15. Yes, they could just gain to 21 here. Kenrith, step right up. You are the lucky winner of our latest trip to Cleveland. We're gonna get Brazen Borrower, gonna bounce my Dreadhorde Butcher, and we're gonna be very sad now. This is Magic Standard format in a nutshell. That's like the headlining experience of Standard right now, is your opponent taking your stuff and bouncing it. It makes for pretty frustrating gameplay patterns overall. It's been the thing that's put me off this format the most, I think, is that like the good decks are either playing Embercleave or they're bouncing your stuff with Teferi and Brazen Borrower, and both those play patterns for me personally leave a bit to be desired. From Ohio, can confirm no one is excited about a trip to Cleveland. that's fair. The sacrifice deck isn't a cleave deck or a bounce deck, right? It's technically a little different. I don't mind the sacrifice deck. It just has such a terrible matchup against the fires decks. Hopefully we get a chance to, like, have Leyline in our opener in one of these games. Get to poke at people with that. This is the monkey paw version of that, right? Hoping for this. Don't have lands to play Magic. All right, perfect. Let's do it. Yeah, I agree, Space Herring. Historic has been a brewer's paradise that has boogeymen, but it has good tools to attack them. And honestly, and this is something that I think a lot of people who are bad at brewing don't understand this. Formats that are defined and have good strategies tend to be easier to brew in, assuming there are good tools to attack those strategies. Like, formats where you're going to play against 800 different things, it's impossible to have answers in. But in a format where you can pretty much predict what you're going to be playing against with some consistency, it's easier to brew in formats like that because you can play tools for the things you know you're going to come up against, as opposed to just the answer being gotta be as linear as possible all the time. When formats are to spread, the correct answer is be linear, generally speaking. Or if they're not spread, but the answers to the things that are popular aren't good enough. All right, we got our thing going on here. We're pretty well set up. Leyline pings them if they target any of our stuff. Klothys is going to start pinging them almost every turn. You love to see it, chat. We'll see if they have a counterspell here for this or not. There are literally books written about deck building in Magic. It's an incredibly large and wide-ranging topic. Yeah, Patrick Chapin wrote a book on deck building at one point. All right, not Mystic Dispute. Scorching Dragonfire in response, so that way Torbran doesn't deal extra 2 with it. Oh gosh. Oh yeah. And they can't target any of my stuff or they die. You love to see it, chat. And that still doesn't save them, right? Oh wait, they could bounce this too. They need to bounce this. You love to see it. All right, I should have boarded in Tibalt last game. Robber's worse on the draw. Chandra sounds good for attacking down their haste things. This actually is probably pretty medium. I'm gonna bring the Dreadhorde Butchers in and get them powered up. Oh, they can't bounce it because of Leyline. You're super, right? Toad's just dead. All right, in. Hey, F Dragon, thanks for 7 months. Welcome back. Now, they did show a Scorching Dragonfire last game, so Dreadhorde could be dying here. Well, they have Wolf Willowhaven here. They also have Fires of Invention. Probably gonna Stone Rain them in a roundabout way here next turn. You love to see it, chat. Yikes! You hate to see it, chat. You hate to see it. This is another one of R&D's wonderful, these cards will not be constructed playable cards like Nexus of Fate. I have zoo cameras on my third monitor to brighten up my quarantine, and after 4 days, I'm pretty sure the San Diego Zoo is lying about having a tiger. You missed getting timed out, troll. I can fix that. Aim to please here. So, Klothys, we might actually still be able to win this game, huh? Red-a-lub-a-dub-dub. Thank you for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, Torbran doing a Rourke Thar impression is real accurate. Yeah, not only does the Shock play around Mystic Dispute, but it also means I can do this plus activate one of these. Yeah, I could sack Cindervines, but if I sack Cindervines, they're able to cast more spells. So Cindervines are currently dealing 3 to them whenever they cast anything. Yes, that's the idea, is that Torbran counts Cindervines as a red source. So these are currently, my opponent has to take 6 damage to cast a non-creature spell currently. And they're going to take 4 from this, and then we're going to attack them for 6 with it. So, like, they probably need to cast some non-creature spells to get out from under Klothys, but doing that means they die, right? Yeah, Klothys means Kenrith can't attack this turn. I think we're actually going to get him here. And they really can't blame me, because whatever actions they take is just them doing it to themselves. That's the idea, chat. They gonna bounce? They might be bouncing my Klothys here. Would you like to take 6? Well, they can't just sit there and gain 5, right? Because Klothys is dealing 10. Because they could have gained 5 more in response, Dr. 11. Yeah, if they find a land, they can start gaining 10 per turn. But, like, this is dealing 10, and this could deal 4 more, so they can't attack me, really. Sure, deal. They think otherwise, apparently. Their out was me blocking, I guess. Not taking that bait. Awkward. I guess we'll bottom this. Actually, we'll bottom the Cindervines, huh? Nice, Drunk Owl. They have to take 4 if they want to kill Bonecrusher Giant. Dead. Feel dead. Can't really attack anymore, and they're gonna get to escape Uro. Tibalt sounds good. Remorse may or may not be good. Heartfire seems medium. I'm gonna trim Bonecrusher Giant. Just do this on the play. Maybe we'll board this in on the draw. Be slightly less aggressive. Oh, I completely forgot to do updates to the website yesterday. I want to put Jund Dinos, Merfolk, and Green Black Citadel on the historic page. Fisher Swamp, thanks for the quarter view. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I blame the 2,000 extra raid energy that I had. I have to try and do that tonight. It was quite wonderful. The kids and I painted, played a bunch of video games with Declan, played a bunch of Raid. It was refreshing. I think I'm gonna bottom Cleave here. Just hope to draw some red sources. I think I want to keep the second 2-drop in case we miss a land. New schedule is Wednesday to Sunday. So, the new schedule, I'm tentatively trying taking Tuesday and Friday off. With the idea of spreading out my days off. Subject to change depending on, like, if Christy's work schedule has something specific she needs me to help with, but... yeah, my tentative plan is to do Tuesday, Friday off. Instead of taking 2 days in a row off. I think people are more likely to have YouTube content if it's not 2 days in a row off. Hey, Bacon. Okay, well, that's actually pretty good for us here. We get to Remorse that, and then we get to Remorse God Eternals next turn, and we've hit 2 lands off their deck. What a tilter. So that primarily watches on YouTube, I want to thank you for that. I've been binging your videos as a means to stay sane. Well, thanks for keeping me around. I wouldn't be here without folks like you. Man, just... their deck has so many lands, 2 people are simultaneously flooding off of it. Bird, thanks to 11 months, I appreciate that. Welcome back. Is Enter the God Eternals actually good? Like, it's awful against the Sacrifice deck, right? Man, that's great. Yeah, the Merfolk deck felt surprisingly competitive when we played it last time. I mean, they found a spell, but Klothys might just win this game here. Yikes. We could find a red source here. We get to Klothys plus Torbran. Okay. One loyalty short of popping this off. Yeah. Oh, gosh. The way the damage prevention works, that totally works that way. Yeah, we're super dead. We had a window where if they didn't draw a life gain, we might have been okay, but life gain into Pelucranos is a tough nut. Oh, yeah, that's true. If I miss, I could exile a land for Torbran. Good call. Klothys does more than just deal damage. In it to win it. Nah, I think that's too cute, Grief. I think the 2 damage is more important. If they have an okay spell there, they probably top the okay spell just because I don't have lands to cast it anyways. So there's a real chance that they just like level me, and like giving them a random card is fine. Welcome back, Punchworthy. They topped, right? So we get to take it here. Oh, you wanted to land? That's too bad. Drawing ley lines as your... Oh. That's fine. They're probably going to bounce or kill us anyways, right? Obviously, I should have actually got rewarded for not playing it pre-combat, huh? Now we counter their Bonecrusher and deal 4 to them. Main deck negate. Yup. Oh, they're not adventurers. They're like a flash deck? Okay, that makes the negate make sense. I wonder if they're like blue-red flash, like trying to make green work for Nightpack Ambusher. The negate makes a lot more sense if they're a flash deck. Nice, Jamison. The new legendary I popped took my clears from 35 seconds down to like 24 seconds, so... I don't know. I don't really optimize for time because there's only so much energy you get. I think I want to get Klothys down. Start gaining some life back here, ideally. Makes it easier to race if we're gaining a little bit on the in-between. Probably dead here. This is a good pickup. I'm gonna try and stomp this during their upkeep. Yep. I don't think our deck has enough creatures in it to play 3-mana Domri. Like, in order for 3-mana Domri to be good, you have to have large creatures to make its fight good. Like, just making mana and, like, giving your creatures 1 extra attack is not good enough. I think I want my discard spells here, probably. We'll leave the robbers in on the play. I think my favorite part of this timeline currently, because there are good things about this timeline too, is the fact that Kibler's Twitter feed has gone like, just like 50+% politics since this all went to crap has been great. Makes me appreciate him as a content creator more than I already did. just like good at his job. And just really seems to be a good all-around person. How could Gibbler be smart, kind, and handsome? That's illegal. Listen, life's not fair, okay? I'm gonna see if they'll bounce or stomp my robber here. Hopefully they just bounce it and then we get to redeploy it with the Grim Innate post-combat. Ooh. I'd encourage you to learn about Mr. Duke as a person. Beak, thanks for the 20 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Found out last night that you'd have two people. Found out last night that you have two people play Animal Crossing at the same time. So my girlfriend and I were setting up her tent. Yeah, so it's awkward that you can't play separate profiles though. Like, if Switches were available, Christy might get it. Christy was thinking about getting another Switch, but they're just sold out everywhere. Is Embercleave GG? Maybe? Do I just jam Cleave or would I rather jam Torbran? I think I'm just gonna jam Torbran. What is Animal Crossing? It's like a furries for. It's like if The Sims. It's like The Sims for furries, is my understanding. It's like a furries version of The Sims. It's Harvest Moon without the farm or the time pressures. First strike is busted. For me, it's a fishing simulator so I can make money for the wife. That's great. Capitalistic utopia type game is definitely a good descriptor. It's an idealized version of the subprime mortgage crash from 2008. You buy a house you can't afford and then pay it back by catching butterflies. It's basically a millennial. It's basically a millennial fantasy game. That's why it's popular. It's a millennial fantasy game. I get it now. Well, I mean, this is a brew drowning cow live, so I don't really know. They have to sit and look like what cards you gain by porting it to historic. It's a millennial fantasy game with a slumlord raccoon who runs everything. If you're playing Animal Crossing and you're a sub and you want to chat about it, Christy set up a channel for it in the subs Discord, by the way. I don't visit the Animal Crossing sub-channel. I live in the Raid sub-channel among the other, on top of the other Magic channels. But, Chrissy, there is an Animal Crossing channel in the subs Discord with a number of folks playing and talking in there. Yeah, I think we'd rather just wait for whatever supply chains to catch back up for the non-light versions in Toth. With a third kit on the way, at some point we'll get use out of 2 actual Switches, I assume. Past just Christy being able to have her own island on Animal Crossing. Maybe I'm just supposed to pass here so I could stomp a threat. What's their island called? I have no idea. Christy and I have an agreement. I play Lego games with Declan. She plays Animal Crossing with him. I enjoy the Lego games. She enjoys her Millennial Fantasyland. I would like to stomp your face. You think I just jammed this since I have a second one? How can I get some of these loads where you pay with butterflies? I'm a millennial, my bank only accepts Benjamins. Reality is cruel. Alright, and now I'm going to lead on Bonecrusher here in the hopes that they would counterspell this instead of Klothys. They didn't take the bait, chat. Alright, so like Bonecrusher was a 1-for-1 that dealt 6, so that's not bad. Thanks for the third of a year, Marcel. I appreciate you keeping me around. Welcome back. Land. Land. Sick. To be fair, the butterflies are sold to a raccoon slumlord at capitalist prices. Okie doke. We're barely winning this race, right? But we're still winning it. The game has a stock market and stocks are turnips. Well, that's just a commentary on real life that your stocks are turnips, right? Yeah, I don't know that we can beat this card. How was Raleigh this morning? Awful. Decks like that just really aren't playable in Pioneer. Consider buying a physical sword to mark the occasion, but I don't have the funds. A figurative venture. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Thanks for keeping me around. Abzan Rally was the last medium Pioneer deck that had been sitting in the queue for over a month. So we are officially through the backlog of Pioneer decks, chat. We're officially through the backlog. Any Magic Online decks that get submitted at this point should have less than a week turnaround on when they get submitted to when they get played. In celebration, we can all submit a free Pioneer deck. No. Bad DMS. Thanks for keeping me around, Hive Mind. That's fine. There's plenty of people that never submit a deck. There's a lot of people that just like watching for the wide range of things that we play. Nothing wrong with that. Some of us even only watch for the timeouts. I mean, we live to please. We don't kick shame around here. That's an ambitious attack. You're here for the Hex TCG content. Oh, Hex. Poor Dingler. Would you feel a land destruction deck could work right now? Probably not, Roxer Boxer. Well, I guess it depends. If you didn't see the Fall of the Thran deck that we played recently, I think the Fall of the Thran archetype could be reasonable. We played a little bit of that. But however, just like, as far as like, just like classic Stone Rains type thing, I don't think that's likely very reasonable. I'm gonna kill that and sacrifice this and kill this. Thanks for keeping me around, Krigifer. We're doing all right here. I am. Yeah, I agree, Talrand. We were actually talking about this with my group of folks that used to play Hex, and I agree. This is like Magic's version of Lasgar's Vengeance is definitely true. Oh, yeah. That's incredibly satisfying. Would you like to kill my 6/6? They're also taking 2 next turn from this. Grow, my pretties, grow! I definitely can, Fox. Thanks for the support. If they drop Torbran, we're dead. Yes, Torbran's exactly lethal here. When I set up my official stream room, will I have a Hex Portrait in the background? I don't know. I need to figure out what I want to do in the background. Not 100% sure yet. I have a few things I could put up behind me. They're just making sure I could find the attack with all button, apparently. Robber of the Rich seems not ideal on the draw. Tibalt seems fine. Claim the Firstborn seems fine. Return to Nature might actually be okay here. Let's try this. Be a little bit more defensive on the draw. Mythic Kanuma. 3 months already. Stay safe out there in that strange country of yours. Thanks for the quarter of a year. Welcome back. Yeah, Claim isn't a removal spell in this deck. It's a way to punch through lethal on the last turn. Yeah, we technically have Heartfire, but like 2 copies of that is whatever. What do you think of official tournaments? It's best of 3, win by 2, instead of best of 3 games. So the problem with that is time constraints baked in now. While I agree with you that would mitigate variance that the game has, from a logistics standpoint, running a tournament with you have to win by 2 games is huge. I think rather than seeing a structural tournament change to mitigate play draw variance, I wish Wizards would explore different game design decisions they could make to mitigate play draw variance. That would be a fine setup for like PT top 8s maybe. Even that could have some logistical concerns though. Like I said, I think a much better approach would be rebalancing the game to give the player on the draw some kind of benefit. There's 1,000 different ways they could try and innovate that. I wish they would just start trying some. Yeah, hour to hour and a half Larynx is the goal. I think we're dead, huh? Yeah, it's really weird to me that Channel Fireball chose not to leverage Arena's awesome clock system for their tournament setup. I agree that Arena's clocks are a huge step up from normal paper Magic timers. Did I not understand their rules document? Their rules document has a clause talking about 50-minute rounds. Are they not enforcing that? Yeah, they have an external round timer, right? If you choose tournament mode for direct challenge, there is a clock, Boshek. If you do not choose tournament mode, there is no clock. They are using the arena clocks. Okay, that's good. So we'll block here. We'll Heartfire this. We'll sacrifice this. We'll kill Scorchspitter. So I'm going to take 4 total this turn. Down to 8. These are, you know, we did this to ourselves. They have a castle here, so we're all done. On the play, do I want to board differently? Yeah, I think so. Robber of the Rich is much better on the play. Good, Silence. I'm glad to hear that. I guess... And he's dead. Capped him. Cap right in him, chap. Second Embercleave. That's definitely what we wanted, huh? The perfect, you could say. Hopefully they play an Annex next turn, so we can return to nature it. Gonna be dead here very quickly if we don't draw some action. Steam Can is an artifact and you can't change my mind. Thanks for keeping me around, Nomad. I appreciate that. Welcome back. This was fine. Probably more cute than good. The Klothys part of the deck seemed good. We got Cindervines, Leyline, Torbran set up at least once. Yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, this is almost assuredly just bad mono red from a pure competitive standpoint, but it was cute. It was doing something kind of novel. The mana worked out for the most part. We had like that one last game where like we didn't have triple red for Torbran, but that's gonna happen sometimes with your only having 18 red sources. I did not peek at the daily deals yesterday. Let's do that before we roll it into some Historica. Aww. Sad whale noises. Sad whale noises. Alright, so we're gonna roll on into some Historic here. Up next, we've got some red, black Titan to kick things off here. I'm going to do a quick ad roll while I get the client restarted and get deck lists updated everywhere. We'll be back in just a few minutes with some Historic. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. Don't go anywhere. These people are great. Buy their stuff.